Hi everyone! Today I'm going to be showing you guys the Airbrush Flawless collection starring Charlotte's Airbrush Flawless foundation, her airbrush powder and her new airbrush bronzer, which I'm so excited to be showing to you guys. I'm completely obsessed with it. I've been wearing it every single day. I have already prepped my skin with Charlotte's Magic Complexion products. So I have used Magic Cream, which I use in every single one of my tutorials. I'm using her new Magic Serum Crystal Elixir that I'm obsessed with. It has transformed my skin. And I've also used her Under Eye Rescue. So to start this makeover off, I'm going to be using the Airbrush Flawless foundation from the Airbrush collection. I'm obsessed with this foundation. I use this all the time. I go between Light Wonder and Airbrush, but especially when I'm going out in the evening, I will be wearing this. This foundation really does stay on from day to night. It lasts up to 12 hours. A little bit really does go a long way, as my skin is looking actually quite good at the moment. I'm only going to be using a little bit of this. The great thing about this is that it's a full coverage foundation. It's a matte full coverage foundation, yet making you still look really glowy. And I'm just using my Magic Complexion brush for this, but you can instantly see it's taking away all the redness. I suffer from a bit of rosacea, especially around my nose and my cheeks, and this really does help cover that. The other great thing about this foundation is that it just makes you look airbrushed. Like, you literally look like you have a filter on your face, but this product really does that in real life. I'm really obsessed with the whole airbrush collection. You know, when you're using the foundation and you're using the powder and you're using the bronzer, you really do look airbrushed. Like, my skin has never looked better. Okay, foundation is on. So next I'm going to be using the Magic Away concealer, and I usually use 2 shades of this, but because that foundation does really conceal, I'm just going to be using one of these to highlight my under eyes. I'm just using shade 5, and I just like to pop a little bit just here, like so. And I'm just going to use my finger to tap this in. And I'm just doing the same thing in the other eye. You always have a bit of concealer left over on your finger. I just take my fingers and I just apply a bit of that onto the lids of my eyes, and that's just creating like a base for the shadow. So to lock in my skin, I'm going to be using the Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder. You can see how much I use this. I use this every single day. I do get really oily skin, so I use powder all the time. The amazing thing about this is that it's so finely milled, and it's got almond oil and rose wax, so it really does leave your skin looking really hydrated, which is actually really rare for a powder. It really has this filter effect. You can see straight away that it's taking away all that shine. It's making my skin look really flawless, really poreless. I'm really just going down the T-zone, leaving all the high points looking really glowy and dewy. Next is brows. What I do is I brush up my brows, because that's just going to instantly lift them up. I feel like a good brow is everything. I like to just fill it in at the front, because that's where I have gaps. I like to add it just above the arch. And if you feel like it's a bit too intense in some areas, you can just go in with the spoolie and just brush it out. And then I just extend it towards the ends, which is really elongating my brows, changing my facial framework. I get the powder and I go in with my finger and I just tap this on the center of my lid, like so. And that's just really going to brighten this whole look up. So next I'm going to be using Full Fat Lashes mascara, starting from the root of my lash, bringing it upwards. Next I'm going to be doing my lips, and I'm going to be using the Hot Gossip lip liner. This is just like a peachy shade, and it's just going to go really well with this eye look. As I'm feeling that this is kind of like an old school supermodel look, I'm going to go with Super Cindy. I love this shade because, first of all, it's matte, and I love a matte, and this is going to be a matte look. And also, it's a really gorgeous peachy shade. Basically lined my entire lips with Hot Gossip, but I'm just adding a bit of this towards the center. So now for the product that I have been so excited to finally show you guys. This is the Airbrush Bronzer. It comes in the most beautiful packaging. I mean, it looks like a shell that's just come from the ocean. Here is the beautiful bronzer. This comes in 4 different shades. I'm using the number 2, which is medium. It's also a matte bronzer, but it really adds so much warmth to your skin. So I'm just gonna apply a bit of this with my blusher brush. And I like to suck in my cheekbones and just kind of softly contour my skin with it, but I'm just going backwards and forwards like so. I feel like this is one of my favorite looks, just looking naturally tanned, naturally bronzed. The fact that this is a matte and it doesn't have a shimmer in it creates that natural effect, and it really does create that airbrushed effect because it's matte. God, I'm obsessed with this bronzer, look at it. So guys, this is my finished airbrush look. I'm obsessed with this. Like, this is my go-to skin look. I feel like my skin looks flawless and poreless. For my skin to create this airbrush complexion, I've used all the airbrush products in the collection: the airbrush bronzer, flawless finish powder, the airbrush flawless foundation. So these are the 3 key products to create airbrushed filtered skin. I really hope you guys loved this tutorial. I think this is one of my favorite looks I've done so far, and I'm so excited to be showing you guys the new airbrush collection.